Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly open cam.
Good afternoon po.
So I acknowledge the presence of 14 students. We are supposed to be 30. We haven't yet reached at least half. Who has a problem with the previous quiz? Do you have a problem with your quiz? Or you're all fine? Speak now or forever hold your peace, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, make it quick so we could start. Mr. Araguas, are you okay?
Sarap po.
Since ganito na setup natin, since we are not able to meet sometime, recorded topic is unified in all LEA 4 subjects. Kaya kung ano yung discussion natin ngayon, yun lang din ang ipapasa ko sa other classes. Thus, they have to watch. Your absent classmate shall also watch the recorded video of this screenshot lecture. So, who are these 10 others? Let me check your attendance. I acknowledge presence of 17 students, including me. We have here Abril, Leslie Ann, Araguas.
Present po.
Yes. Banasihan,
Present.
Kaaya, Christian, Calosa,
Present.
Castillo,
Present po.
Escobido,
Present po, sir.
Fajardo,
Present po, sir.
Fajardo Jamilin.
Present po, sir.
How about Lanit, Pamela,
Present po, sir.
Manaloto,
Sir, present po.
Maranan,
Present po, sir.
Marchas.
Present po.
Is Marchas related with those Marchas here in the Uplands, Cordillera?
Hindi ko po sure.
Hindi mo sure. How about Utani? Meron.
Present, sir.
Yes. Pentoy,
Present po, sir.
Sandig,
Present po, sir.
Torte, Shairin, Torte. Where are you? Shairin May Torte. Last, kindly open cam. You have to open cam in all of your online classes. So, Shireen, May, do you have a problem with your internet connection? Saralyn Trajano.
Present po, sir.
Okay. So, who's not called? Munoz. Yan. Aside from Munoz, your presence is acknowledged, Munoz. Who else?
Sir, excuse me lang po. Hindi lang po ma-open at sira lang po yung front cam ng cellphone na gamit ko po ngayon, sir. Pero kasama ko po ngayon.
Okay, so next time you have to fix that, ha?
Yes po, sir.
Sino kasama mo, Mr. Adrian?
Si po, sir? Si Harvey po, sir.
Come again? Shireen? Kasama mo?
Escobedo po, sir.
Escobedo.
Yes po, sir.
Who else is not called or was not called? Kaya Calosa Castillo. So we have here two Castillo. Castillo Alona and Castillo Princess. May I see both of you? Kindly respond.
Present po, sir.
How about Alona? Alona.
Present po, sir.
Okay. Jelly Sanga.
Present po.
Okay. So I acknowledge presence of 21 ladies and gentlemen, 21 na present in this class. So let's resume with our discussion. Allow me to share my screen. As usual, ladies and gentlemen, you have to listen and take down notes. Why? Because most of your quizzes and exam are not lifted from the notes I provided you, okay? Most of your quizzes and exam will be coming from our discussion. So you have to take down notes of my explanations. Is that okay with you, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes po, sir.
Yes po, sir.
Yes, of course. In preparation for your board exam, because board exam questions are not constructed as it was written on the book, di ba? They rephrased it. Yes, I acknowledge presence of Miss Bitchaida from the other class. Okay, so last meeting, as far as I can recall, we discussed the parts of police operational plan, right? This is also your assignment, which I haven't yet checked because most of you submitted late. Di ba kahapon pa dapat? Parang kanina ko lang nakita yung iba. Ay, hindi pala. Kahapon pala, tama. Kahapon. Wednesday. Now, do you have a problem with your assignment, the police operational plan? Who had encountered a problem? Class. Meron ba? Wala. Nabigay ko na sa inyo yung format, di ba? All you have to do is to input the information. Honestly, I haven't yet checked those. Kaya hindi ko rin talaga makomment. Pero, you can interact naman so long as you know where you encountered a problem. Wala ba? Wala ba kayong problemang na-encountered? Na-encounter class? Hoy, mag-react naman kayo. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, yes,
Yes po, sir.
Bakit di ka nagre-react? Clear naman pala. Wait lang. Ayun. So, since you don't have a problem with your police operational procedure, then let's proceed with the topic. Is it okay with you, class?
Yes po.
Bakit ang tamlay nyo? Bakit malungkot kayo? Ayaw nyo?
Gusto po, sir.
Sabihin nyo
Gusto po,
lang.
sir.
Pwede naman tayong mag-quiz. Okay. So, thank you. At least, ang ganda nyo palang tingnan pagka ngumingiti kayo, pinagdadamot nyo. Diba? So, can you see
Yes
my
po, sir.
screen, my PowerPoint presentation?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. To those who are using cell phones, is it readable? Nababasa nyo ba?
Yes po, sir.
Oo, kasi
Yes po,
pagka
sir.
in-enlarge ko kasi to, minaximize ko, naghahang, yun ang problema ng Google Class. That's one of the problem of Google Class. Unlike Zoom, okay lang. But the problem is I haven't renewed my Google, my Zoom, my Zoom. So, we will now proceed with other types of approaches to planning. Okay? So we have already discussed approaches to police planning. Now we will be discussing other types of approaches to planning. So we have here first is the reactive. It is active. When we say active, it involves action. It is past-oriented nga lang. So when we say past-oriented, we have to study past events. Reactive planning is an active attempt to respond and solve the problem or minimize the adverse effect of a recent unwanted incident. So means to say, there's an incident that just have happened. Okay? So past tense, it happened, which we have to respond. And our respond has the purpose of what? To at least minimize the adverse effect of that problem or to solve that problem. So that is our reactive approach. Okay, so reactive approach. Next to our reactive approach is the what we call inactive. Okay, so inactive. So inactive approach is passive. When we say passive, it does not involve or require an action. Okay, and it is present-oriented. So at this very moment, kung sakali, present-oriented siya. Inactive planning is an attempt to preserve the present situation or incident by inhibiting ourselves from intervening, to which our interventions may only worsen the situation. Diba? So mayroon na kayong mga na-encounter sigurong problema na ganyan, na dahil ayaw nyong magsinungaling, pagka tinanong kayo, mapapasabi kayo ng totoo, baka lumaki yung problema, di ba? So anong gagawin? Just be passive na lang. That's an example of the application of your inactive planning. Rather than doing an act which could only worsen the situation, you have to inhibit yourself from intervening. So that is your inactive planning. It is, once again, passive. It does not require any action. You have to just let the situation go rather than you trying to intervene, but without expertise, you may only worsen the situation. Diba? For some reasons, it will only be worsened. It cannot be minimized or prevented. That's why all you have to do is to apply inactive planning or to be passive. Next is your pre-active. So pre-active, it is active. It requires prediction of what's gonna happen in the future. So prediction of a possible upcoming or incoming event or incident. That's your preactive. Preactive planning is an attempt to predict future incidents, future problems, and come up with a solution before the actual occurrence of that problem. So we know for a fact that sa rainy season, seasonal yan, di ba? Mga typhoon, seasonal yan. Mostly mga June, July. Pero the problem is October na, September na, umulan pa rin. Yun lang problema natin. So we know for a fact that June, July are rainy season. So in that case, we have to do a preactive planning. So what should be our preactive planning? We have to reinforce our drainage system. Yung mga wall natin, kung mahina na, di ba? Or our roofs, kung mahina na yung roofs natin, bubong natin, patibayin natin. So that's an example of preactive. We prepared for an upcoming problem, trouble, or incident or disaster. Yan. That's our preactive approach. We also have here proactive. Okay, so proactive. It is active. So when you say active, it requires an action. And it involves preparation for the unexpected. So, uh, your preactive is preparation for unexpected, di ba? While your proactive, we are preparing for something that is unexpected. Medyo mahirap to. Proactive planning involves active planning for random, unexpected events or scenarios. It involves planning for almost any type of incident, any type of situation, or any type of disaster, to include those incidents that seems to be impossible to transpire or to happen. So that is your proactive planning. Kumbaga, sa dami-dami ng planuhin natin, I think proactive, yan yung last priority natin. Okay? Bakit? Because we are not sure, we have no certainty if it's gonna happen. However, we also have to prepare for such an unexpected event. Ano ba yung mga unexpected event? We know for a fact that, let's say for example, we know for a fact that a crime would happen. However, we don't know when it's gonna happen. So, pwede yun, unexpected. Unexpected yung date niya. Okay? So, still, we have to plan for that. So, that's an example of your proactive. We know that a typhoon would come within this year, but we don't know when. Unlike your preactive, we know at least what month. Di ba? May alam natin kung kailan. Mga ganyan. May, at least may assumption tayo, may prediction tayo on the period when it's gonna happen. Unlike your proactive, hindi natin alam. So, unexpected talaga. Now, we have here last is the preventive. So, when we say preventive, it involves action. So, it is active and it is present-oriented. So, preventive planning involves care and maintenance of the present. Okay? So, we have to maintain our present situation. What is our present situation? We are currently peaceful. Okay? Thus, we have to prevent trouble. So, it involves active planning to preserve the current state against harm, injuries, losses, or threat. So, that is your preventive planning or preventive approach. You preserve the current situation, state, against harm, injuries, losses, or threat. Aside from these types of approaches to planning, we have other types of plan. So, types of plan in general. So, planning is a formal process. Once again, why is it called a formal process? Because it involves documentation. Okay? We have to put that into writing, and aside from that, it has to be formally signed by all the planners, kung sino yung nagplano dyan. Okay? By the authority, by the proper authority. So, planning is a formal process of formulating a set of activities, initiatives, or schedule directed towards the attainment of a mission. So, pwede rin hindi mission yan. Pwedeng directed to the attainment of an objective, of a purpose. Diba? So, it is a necessity for an organization to prepare a plan to achieve a predetermined objective in time. Parang yung anong pre-objective na ang predetermined objective nyo by the end of this sem, sana mapasa namin, di ba? Yung predetermined objective nyo in time. Ano yung time niya? By the end of this sem. So that's planning. You have to plan for you to pass this subject by the end of this SEM. The preparation and crafting of a plan may be done by broad or external authorities such as supervising or mother agencies. Okay? So once again, the preparation and crafting of a plan may be done by a broad, when we say broad, a bigger agency, or external authorities. When we say external authorities, these are authorities that are outside of our institution. So we are Laguna State Polytechnic University. Kung may gagawa ng plano sa atin, para sa ating ikabubuti, na hindi naman member ng LSPU, we call them external authorities. So what are those external authorities? Pwedeng si CHED, Commission on Higher Education. Diba? So he is not a member of LSPU. However, he is external authority. So outside of the LSPU. Such as the supervising or mother agencies. When we say mother agencies, umbrella. Yan yung parang mother unit, mother agency. Just like the Philippine National Police, di ba? The mother agency of the Philippine National Police or the supervising agency is the NAPOLCOM. The supervising agency of the NAPOLCOM is the DILG, di ba? Ganyan. The supervising agency of the Public Prosecutor's Office is the Department of Justice, DOJ, di ba? Mga ganyan. Yan ang sinasabi nating supervising or mother agencies. Likewise, plans or preparation and crafting of plan may also be done by internal agencies. So when we say internal internal agencies, these are agency or department within that organization. So let's say, for example, the PNP organization. And in the PNP organization, a plan was crafted with regards the information gathering and its procedure. Sino ang gumawa? Let's say, for example, the DI, Directorate for Intelligence. Now, that Directorate for Intelligence is a part of the Philippine National Police. Okay? So, it belongs to the internal agency. It is a sub-agency or sub-department within a whole organization. Yan. Such as the top-level management in the PNP organization. Our top-level management are the Chief PNP, those persons in the national headquarters, headed by the Chief PNP, the Deputy for Administration, the Deputy for Operations, the Chief Directorial Staff, and the Directorate, the directors of the directorates. They are considered as the top-level management. Now, we also have the what we call middle-level management. So who are these in the PNP organization? These are the personnel in the regional level. They are the middle level management. Okay? Or subordinate level management or officer. Yan. When we say subordinate level management, yung mas ka-level niya rin o kaya mas mababa pa sa kanya, di ba? So that's our subordinate level management. Ka-level or mas mababa, subordinate. Unlike your superior level, mas mataas, di ba? Mas mataas. So what is the superior superior office of Police Regional Office 4A? Ano mas mataas sa Pro 4A? The national headquarters, di ba? Yan, superior. Now, give me a subordinate level office of Police Regional Office 4A. So, lahat ng mga Police Regional Offices din, ka-level niya, di ba? Such as Pro 4, Pro 1, Pro 2, Pro 3, Pro 4B, and so on and so forth. Yan yung sinasabi nating subordinate level management. And also, the preparation and crafting of plan may be done in a long period. So when we say long period, if it involves a plan that can be completed within 5 years, a minimum of 5 years period, then we call it strategic plan, di ba? So yan yung sinasabi nating long period. We also have what we call intermediate period. It is a plan ranging from below 5 years but not less than 6 months. Yan sinasabi natin, intermediate period. And you have your short period, yan yung less than 6 months to complete na plan. Okay? So generally, there are 7 types of law enforcement plan or planning. Now, we have here types of plan according to basis of management hierarchy. So when we say management hierarchy, hierarchy refers to the authority, di ba? Hierarchy. Parang yung sa yung intro to crim nyo, di ba? May hierarchy of needs. So ano yung pinaka-need ng tao na primary? Yan yung ating physio-biological needs such as food and shelter, di ba? So yan ang hierarchy. Ano yung pinaka nasa taas na need ng tao? It's the self-esteem. Yan. So pag nakumpleto mo na ang pangailangan mong pang physical, biological, following will be psychological need, di ba? You have to fulfill your thinking needs. And so on and so forth. So let us now proceed with this type of plan. Type of plan according to management hierarchy. So the hierarchy of managers. So first is the corporate or strategic plan. Sometimes they call it strategic plan, but in a corporation or in corporation they call it corporate plan. So a corporate plan is a long-term plan. So when we say long-term plan again, its minimum period to complete is 5 years. Prepared by top-level management. So who prepares it? Only the top-level management. In the PNP organization, where are the top-level management located? They are located in the national headquarters, Camp Crame, Quezon City. It gives the reason for the existence of the organization. So, they directly formulate plans that can contribute to the corporation's vision and mission. Yan. So, pagka si Philippine National Police yan, corporate plan is directed towards the attainment of the PNP mission and vision. Yan yung sinasabi niya. Corporate or strategic plan. Now, it clearly defines the objectives of the organization and the strategy to achieve defined objectives. The strategy involves a clear explanation of how to achieve the defined objectives. There is a high degree of uncertainty in a strategic plan. Take note of this, ladies and gentlemen. There is a high degree of uncertainty. When we say uncertainty, walang kasiguraduhan na makukumpleto natin yung ating strategic plan. Bakit? Because this strategic plan will be relayed to our line units and it will be the line units who will implement it. But the problem is there may be unforeseen specific incident or events in that certain locality that were not included during the formulation of the plan. Kumbaga in Tagalog, meron yung plano ginawa ng nasa national headquarters. But since yung taga national headquarters ang gumawa ng plano, general ang kanyang application, and it may not be necessarily applicable to a certain locality. Bakit? Because in every locality, there are differences. What are those differences? Differences in culture. Magkakaiba naman yung tao. Diba? Iba yung culture ng uplands, iba yung culture ng lowlands. Iba yung belief, yung paniniwala per region. Yan. Kaya natin sinasabi na strategic plan has a high degree of uncertainty. So, medyo kulang siya. Now, this should now be improved by the O-plan. So, kailangang i-improve pa ng O-plan. Kung ano yung kulang ni strategic plan, dapat i-develop, i-enhance, and i-localize ng ating operational planners. Okay? So, that's for your corporate or strategic plan, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's move on with the second lower category, the operational plan or O-plan for short. Based on hierarchy, hierarchy of management. So, when we say hierarchy of management, ano ba yung management? Management from national headquarters, the top level management. Second is your middle level management. And your third is your lower level management. Yan. So, middle level management creates our operational plan. It is consistent with the corporate plan. So, pareho lang sa corporate plan. Consistent, when we say consistent, it is totally aligned. Parehong-pareho. Aligned. It is the subdivision of the corporate plan to be implemented in the practical field. So, parehong-pareho. The only difference is na-localize lang siya according to regional structure. Okay? So, from the national headquarters, kung PNP yan, ang operational plan na regionalized, na localized into regional level. O kaya, provincial level. Yan. So, mayroon tayong idadagdag na specific scenarios that are not observed by the strategic planners, by the top level management. So, yun ang idadagdag natin dito sa O-plan natin. So, the division managers identify the priority of the activities and prepare plans on the basis of priority of work, of course. So, if there exists if there exist 2 or 3 or 4 plans, yan, we have to check priorities. So, unahin natin yung priority, of course. It is prepared to perform divisional or departmental activities like production, or finance, or marketing, or personnel, and so on and so forth. ETC stands for end of thinking capacity. Yan. Corporate kasi siya, kaya naka-design siya for business. Okay? So, finance, marketing, when you say marketing, means of selling or advertising your product. Production or manufacture, and your personnel, your employees, to include bosses, of course, managers, supervisors, and so on. So that's our O-plan. Last type of plan, according to the basis of management hierarchy, is our tactical plan. So tactical plan are crafted by lower level management. In the Philippine National Police, tactical plan are crafted by the personnel of the municipal police station or of a specialized unit. Ano yung specialized unit natin? The SWAT or the EOD and so on and so forth. So long as they are specialized. Pwede rin yung mga team of investigators. Pwedeng tactical plan din yan. So the lower level management prepares this tactical plan. It is consistent with the operational plan. So when we say consistent with the operational plan, it must be aligned with the operational plan. It is a specific action plan for each and every activity of a unit. So this is only the difference. Your tactical plan is aligned and consistent with your operational plan, but the difference is it has a specific action to be followed by the personnel of that police station, of that tactical unit, of that lowest level unit. It involves the schedule of each unit of work. So when we say schedule, we have a time and date. Parang kayo din. By this week, dapat natapos natin to. Types of plans, general types of plan, di ba? Parang ganyan. So schedule of each unit. Yung mga iba, meron silang ini-implement, study plan. By this month, dapat natapos ko na lahat ng LEA subject in relation to Crim Board review. So it involves the schedule of each unit of work to implement a tactical plan. It concentrates on the best use of available resources. So once again, we have lots of resources. We have logistical resources. We have financial resources. We have human resources. And also time. Pwede nating resource din yan, yung time. To achieve specific objectives. Yan. So that is our tactical plan. It is, once again, crafted by the lower level management, or in short, by the tactical units. Did you understand that, class?
Yes po,
Yes,
sir.
sir po.
Okay. Kala ko tulog na naman kayo. Aha. Naulit to. Okay. So we have here another type of plan in general. So types of plan in general. We have again here reactive plans. So parang pareho lang din kanina. Are developed as result of a crisis. So when we say reactive, past-oriented siya as a result of the crisis. So this crisis is a incident that just had happened or occurred. Thus, we have to react accordingly. So a particular problem may occur for which the department has no plan and must quickly develop one. Yan. So wala tayong plano, but there exists disaster. We have to develop one as quickly as possible. So when we say quickly, it involves tactical action. Thereby, this type of plan would be tactical plan. Yan. Quickly develop one. Sometimes without careful preparation. Mostly ng mga tactical plan natin, dahil nga sa naghahabol tayo ng oras, medyo kulang sa preparation. Yan. However, it is still better than no response at all. That is our reactive plan in relation to tactical plans. Next to reactive plans, we again have here proactive plans. These are developed in anticipation of problems. Although not all police problems are predictable, so hindi lahat ng problema ng kapulisan ay predictable. Yung iba pwedeng predictable pero hindi natin na-predict kung kailan mangyayari. Many are, and it is possible for a police department to prepare a response in advance. So that is our proactive plan. We plan for something that is unexpected. Para kung sakaling nangyari, at least hanapin lang natin. Asan na yung proactive plan natin on this type of incident? Diba? So at least hindi pa tayo mag-iisip kung paano tayo magre-respond. All we have to do is to implement the plan right away. It saves us time. Rather than nangyari na yung incident, saka pa lang tayo magpaplano, it takes time. And we know for a fact that delay in response, what happens when we respond delayed. Di ba? Delayed response results to what?
Di po ma-resolve, sir, yung problema.
That's one. That may be. But for sure, delay and in response results to escalation, di ba? Escalation, lalala yung problema. Unlike, kunwari, tingnan nyo to class, case of theft. Nangyayari pa lang yung theft. Ni-report sa police station, tinawag sa True Radio, but the problem is, matagal nag-respondi yung police. Nakatakas na yung perpetrator, saka dumating yung police. Medyo na-delay dahil na traffic. Let's say for example, na traffic. Ano nangyari? Were we able to solve the case, the crime? Tama yung sinabi mo kanina, di ba? Pwedeng hindi natin ma-solve yung problema pag na-delay yung respond natin. O kaya pwede ring lumala pag na-delay yung respond natin. Lumala yung problema, saka tayo responde. At least naman, pagka nag-responde tayo immediately, at least we minimize. O kaya we may able to solve immediately or right away the incident. So, palitan natin yung scenario. Ongoing yung crime of theft, nananakawan, niradyo sa police officer, yung patroller nag-responde kaagad. And on site, he was able to actually witness the perpetrator carting away the stolen goods. Hinuli niya. Now, is that case considered to be solved? Solved ba yung case pagka nahuli ng pulis yung magnanakaw? Yes, di ba? That's a case case solved, case cleared, crime solved. Crime solved. That is a crime solved. That is a crime solved already. Why? Because there's a crime that happened and we were able to identify and apprehend the perpetrator. So nakita natin ito yung suot niya. Let's say for example, nakipaghabulan pa. So nahabol, nahuli. O yun, di ba? Identify natin, ganito yung suot niya. Personal identification nyo. Ganito siya tumakbo, pipilay-pilay. Ganito yung buhok niya, mahaba. Naka-chaleco siya. Naka-Levi's na pantalon. Uso ba ang Levi's dyan sa Laguna? Parang hindi, no? Dito lang yata sa Upland ang Levi's at saka Merrell na sapatos. So, yan. That's the difference between your responding immediately versus delayed response. Now, the difference between a crime solved and a crime cleared is we say that a crime is cleared if we were able to identify the suspect or the perpetrator of that case. But we may not necessarily able to apprehend him. So, crime cleared yon. Na-identify natin yung perpetrator based on investigation and the statement of witnesses. The advantage of a crime cleared is at least we can proceed to the next level, to the next stage. What is the next stage? The filing of the case. So, pwede natin i-file yung case and we will wait for the preliminary investigation by the prosecutor, and if he sees probable cause, he will file the case to the court. And at the court level, the judge will do preliminary examination, and if he sees probable cause that our suspect is the one who perpetrated the crime, then can he issue a warrant of arrest, to which that warrant of arrest will be used by the law enforcers to apprehend the identified perpetrator. Once the perpetrator is apprehended, then can we consider the crime to be a crime cleared. Crime solved na siya. Crime solved na. Bakit crime solved? Dahil nahuli siya Na-identify siya at nahuli siya. Now, my question to you, class, is, let's say, for example, a police officer caught in the act, Pedro, snatching the cell phone of Maria. Thereby, Pedro immediately arrested. Hindi. Tama ba? Police Pedro. Sino yung suspect? Sino yung nasabi ko? A police officer.
Pedro po.
Ha? Si
Si
Pedro, di ba?
Pedro po.
Yan. So then, this police officer immediately apprehended Pedro. So anong tawag doon? Anong klase ng arrest yun? Arrest via warrantless arrest or arrest through a valid warrant of arrest?
Warrantless arrest, sir.
Warrantless arrest po.
Warrantless arrest, or sometimes we call it citizen's arrest if it's the citizen, not a public official who apprehended that person, di ba? So, warrantless arrest or citizen's arrest. Now, can we now count that incident as a crime solved or crime cleared?
Crime solved po, sir.
Okay, at least you are listening. It is considered a crime solved because we were able to identify him and at the same time apprehend that perpetrator. Now, my next question to you guys is, what process of filing of criminal case will we undergo? Anong klase ng pag-file ng criminal case ang i-undergo natin? Is it a regular filing, a direct filing, or an inquest proceeding?
Direct filing, sir.
Who says otherwise? Plus, who says otherwise? Inquest. Wala, hindi nyo pa natapos ang CDI nyo? CDI 1? Di ba? Inquest proceeding ang tawag doon, ladies and gentlemen. Whenever a police officer or whenever we have a suspect who are caught in the act, in flagrante delicto, caught in the act, via warrantless arrest or via citizen's arrest, it will undergo inquest procedure. Inquest procedure yon. Ano bang meron sa inquest procedure? Dapat ma-file yung police, ma-file ng police yung kaso within 12 or 18 or 36 hours upon the apprehension of that, upon the time of incident. Why? Because if the police officer failed to file the case within the prescribed period, prescribed hour, and that police officer failed to release the suspect, the police officer may be facing a case of, anong pwedeng ikaso sa police?
Illegal detention po.
Arbitrary detention ang
Arbitrary.
tawag doon. At least nag-isip ka. Pero ang sagot dapat is arbitrary detention. Okay? Yun ang ikakaso ng suspect sa pulis. Nabaliktad na, di ba? Makasuhan na yung pulis. So, kailangan ma-file ng kaso ma-file ng pulis yung kaso within that prescribed period. Now, for light offenses, dapat ma-file within 12 hours, di ba? Pagka medium, within 18 hours. Pagka capital offenses, within 36 hours. As provided for by the RPC, Revised Penal Code. For drug-related cases, sabi na, special law yan eh. Nakasaad doon, within 24 hours, dapat ma-file yung kaso. Pagka hindi na-file yung kaso within 24 hours, then we have no choice but to release the suspect para hindi tayo makasuhan ng arbitrary detention. Hindi makasuhan yung police officer ng arbitrary detention. Anyways, pwede nilang i-file yung kaso through regular filing. Regular filing ang tawag doon if the case was filed after it was investigated, wherein the suspect fled from the crime scene. Yan. So, anong tawag doon? Pagka unidentified, hindi unidentified if a case of a theft happened and the police officer responded in at the crime scene, they were not able to apprehend the suspect. They have no clue on who the perpetrator was. They will conduct investigation, di ba? So yan. And that investigation may be solved kahit walang oras, without time limit. Pero at least man lang, not later than 6 months dapat. Not later than 6 months. Okay? Bakit? Because after 6 months, that case may be referred to the NBI or the SITG, Special Investigation Task Group. Ganun kasi mangyayari. O kaya, kung light offense lang yun, pwedeng ma-case close, di ba? Pwedeng ma-cold case. Cold case pala, ma-cold case. Pwedeng matulog yung kaso pagka wala ng ebidensya. Hindi ma-identify yung suspect. Pero, as a result of the investigation, we were able to, let's say for example, identify the perpetrator. Nakuha natin yung fingerprint ito and it matches the automated fingerprint identification system of a certain Pedro. So, let's file this case against Pedro. So, pwede. Yan, di ba? That is what we call regular filing. So, inquest procedure or regular filing. Yun lang yun. Now, nalilito kayo. Sir, ano naman yung direct filing na sinabi mo kanina? You made mention of that as one of our option. Ladies and gentlemen, direct filing, that is the term referred to if we are about to file a case that may not pass the prosecutor. So, pwedeng nating i-directly file sa court kaagad. Anong klase ng court? Mostly the Municipal Trial Court, the MTC. Pwede tayong mag-file ng case directly to the court na kahit na hindi dumaan sa prosecutor if the public prosecutor is unavailable and the case does not require preliminary investigation. So, what is our determining factor to determine whether or not a case requires preliminary investigation? We have the 4 years, 2 months, and 1 day rule. If the penalty for that offense is less than 4 years, 2 months, and 1 day, we can directly file it with the Municipal Trial Court and its counterparts. When we say counterparts, yung METCC, MTCC, and MTC. Okay? So, yun lang yung mga pwede nating i-directly file. Okay? Higher than a penalty of 4 years, 2 months, and 1 day, or 6 years, it requires preliminary investigation. Thereby, who conducts preliminary investigation? It is the public prosecutor. So, kailangan dumaan sa prosecutor. So, hindi natin pwedeng i-directly file yung mga yon. Okay? Ang pwede lang i-directly file is those cases with penalty less than 4 years, 2 months, and 1 day. If the prosecutor is unavailable. Pagka marami siya kunwaring hawak na kaso. Pwede yun, direct filing. Pero kung hindi, endorse muna natin sa prosecutor and it will be the prosecutor who will file the case to the court if he sees probable cause. Is that clear, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes po, sir.
Yes po, sir.
Ang swerte nyo Leia 4 yung subject natin pero natatakon natin lahat ng subjects. Mayroon pa kayong background sa investigation and CLJ. Let's proceed. We are now here at the provisionary plans. Visionary. In relation to our vision. Yan. Vision, mission of the organization. Di ba? That's your visionary plans. These are totally aligned with our vision. Vision of the organization. Vision of the agency. So, visionary plans are essential statements that identify the role of the police in the community and the future condition or state to which the department can aspire. A vision may also include a statement of values. So when we say values, your good values, di ba? Alam niyo na yun, man, mga honesty. Those are values, di ba? Loyalty, integrity. Pwede rin namang thrifty. Thrifty, pagtitipid. So values to be used to guide the decision-making process in the department. So that is our vision. Well, aside from the values, it must have a time frame. So what is the PNP vision? Ang PNP vision, imploring the aid of the Almighty by 2030. So meron siyang time frame. We, the PNP, shall be highly effective, credible, and capable police service acting in partnership with a responsive community. So means to say the community has a part. They must be active. Okay? So with the active part, come again, PNP vision, imploring the aid of the Almighty by 2030, we shall be a highly effective, credible, and capable police service working in partnership with a responsive community towards the attainment of a safer place to live. A safer place to live, a safer place to work, and a safer place to do business. Okay, so a safer place to live, work, and do business. So yan yung PNP vision. Thereby, all of the activities of the PNP shall contribute to the attainment of the safer place to live, work, and do business. So that's the explanation of visionary plans. All of our activities shall directly contribute to the attainment of our vision. So next is the strategic plan. So strategic plans are designed to meet your keyword, long-range overall goals of the organization. Such plans allow the department to adopt anticipated changes or develop a new philosophy or model of policing, such as community policing. One of the most important aspects of strategic planning is to focus on external environmental factors that affect the goals and objectives of the department and how they will be achieved. So important environmental factors include personnel needs, population trends, technical innovations, business trends and demands, crime problems, and community attitudes. Yan. So those should be addressed in a strategic plan. Now, what again is the idea behind community policing? When we say community policing, it says that the community is the police and the police is the community. So thereby, they should work hand in hand. So there's a symbiotic relationship between the police and the community. So that's your strategic plan, a long-range planning. Next is your operational plan. These are designed to meet specific tasks. So when we say specific task, it is more specific compared than strategic plans because strategic plans are broader, they are long range in nature, they are crafted by the national headquarters or top level officers, while your operational plans are crafted by the middle level officers. They are designed to meet specific tasks. They are breakdown of the strategic plans. So operational plans are designed to meet specific tasks required to implement strategic plans. So there are four types of operational plan. So what are the four types of operational plan? First on the list is your standing plans. Nakatayong plano. It provides the basic framework for responding to an organizational problems. The organizational visions and values, strategic statement, policies, procedures, and rules and regulations are example of standing plans. So when we say standing plans, it refers to plans that are currently being implemented and observed. So just like in LSPU, house rule of the LSPU. Anong sabi ng LSPU? Ano ang rules nyo sa LSPU, ladies and gentlemen? No ID, no entry. Do you observe that?
Yes po, sir.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
So that is an example of standing plan. Why is it standing? Because it is currently being observed. For short, para madali nyo maintindihan. Bakit standing yan? Because it is currently implemented. It is currently active. So standing plans also include guidelines for responding to different types of incidents. For example, a civil disturbance. So what are our examples of civil disturbance? Yan, yung mga may nagrarally in public places without permit. So that's an example of civil disturbance. Hostage situation, alam nyo na ang hostage situation. Crime in progress, alam nyo na rin yan. And felony car stops. So felony violation of our RPC. So, felony car stops. We may include here checkpoints, checkpoint operations. So all of those are standing plans. They are active and currently being implemented. Kaya siya tinawag na standing plans. Now, how about functional plans? Functional plans include the framework for the operation of the major functional units in the organization, such as patrol and investigation. So ito lang kasi yung main functional unit. Bakit main functional unit? Because the two main objective of the Philippine National Police, main objective iba yung PNP vision, iba yung PNP mission. So, the main objectives of the PNP is to prevent and control crimes. Now, how do we prevent and control crimes? Through patrol operations, di ba? We can prevent and control crimes through patrol. Now, do you think if the police officers are not patrolling in the area, do you think they can maintain peace and order?
No, sir.
Malabo, di ba? Malabo. Thus, we need patrollers to prevent and control crimes. Now, in case there are incidents or there are cases or crimes that were not prevented by the patrollers, the second objective of the Philippine National Police is crime solution, di ba? First is crime prevention, followed by second is crime solution. So anong ibig sabihin ng crime solution? If there are crimes that were not prevented by the patrollers, by the crime prevention efforts of the Philippine National Police, at least the Philippine National Police should be able to solve that case. Yan, sinasabi natin na crime solution. And how can we solve that case? We shall conduct investigation. So yan na, investigation. What is the purpose of investigation? To identify the perpetrator, to locate the victims and also perpetrators, and to apprehend the perpetrators. Aside from that, if the case involves property crimes, such as theft, robbery, to locate the missing objects or the subject of the crime and to recover those properties. Yan. So those are the objectives of investigation. That is functional. Kaya nga functional. Investigation, ang trabaho mo, to solve crime. Patrol, anong trabaho mo? To prevent crime. CIDG ang unit, Criminal Investigation and Detection Group. Ano ang function niya? Ladies and gentlemen. Ay, tulog sila. Nagtanong ako, ano ang function ng CIDG? Ayaw nyo? Saan ka? Miss Trajano, what is the function of CIDG? Shireen, are you okay? Ano? Okay sa recitation Ayun nyo, plus points nga to eh. Escobedo, o yan, Pardo. What is the function of the CIDG?
Sir, they are the group who are monitors, investigates such crime po na nangyayari.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Pardo. Miss pala. Sorry, Miss Pardo. Of course, from the name itself, what is the name of the unit? Criminal Investigation and Detection Group. Thereby, their function is to detect and investigate criminal incident. Diba? Ganun lang. That's a functional unit. Give me another functional unit. Logistics. Ano na to? Logistics Service or LSS, Logistics Support Service. Yun yung pangalan niya sa organizational chart. Logistics Support Service, a functional unit. Ano ang trabaho niya? It should prepare logistics. Ano ba yung mga logistics? Yan yung mga supply, yung mga equipment, facilities, mga vehicles, di ba? Mga barrel, mga issues, radio equipment. Yun ang trabaho niya. How about the intelligence group? Another functional unit. National Operational Support Unit. Take note, ladies and gentlemen, as a review of your LEA 1, we have two divisions of the National Support Unit. The National Support Unit is divided into two. We have the National Administrative Support Unit, NASU, and the second is the National Operational Support Unit or the NOSU. Now, what is the difference between the two? The National Administrative Support Unit, aside from the office name, all ends with the word service. Yan, mostly nag-end sila sa word na service, such as the chaplain service, logistics support service, diba? Administrative service. So, service. Aside from that, all of their functions are office functions. So, nakukumplayan nila yung trabaho nila na hindi sila lumalabas. Doon lang sila sa opisina nila. Yan ang administrative functions. How about your operational functions or your NOSU, National Operational Support Unit? They usually end with the word group. Anong group? IG, Intelligence Group. Ano pa? CIDG, Criminal Investigation and Detection Group. Ano pa? PDEG. Ano yung PDEG? The PNP Drug Enforcement Group. What else? Yes, Shireen.
Sir, ano po? Bukod po dun sa mga sinabi niyo, monitors and investigates and ano po, prosecutes all crimes involving the ano po, economic sabotage po.
You're referring to the CIDG.
Opo, sir. Pasensya na po, mabagal po yung ano po kasi.
Oo.
Data po.
Medyo late na. Nakalayo na kami sa CIDG.
Opo. Sorry po.
Okay lang. Aid in the prosecution, hindi prosecute, because it is the prosecutor who does the prosecution, but aids in the prosecution of the criminal case. How can he aid in the prosecution? Investigation and detection. Tama. So still, tama pa rin. When we say economic sabotage, this involves economic crimes, such as, one is the bouncing check, na ganyan, di ba? So long as meron tayong economic crime, may mga estapa, hindi lalago ang ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. Malversation is one. Sa National Operational Support Unit, examples, di ba? We also have what we call CITG, CITF before. Anong tawag niya? Counterintelligence Task Force. Have you encountered this unit before? Narinig nyo na ba sa balita, sa radyo, sa newspaper, sa Facebook? Ano? Naalala nyo ba, class? Di ba? Sabi ni President Duterte, I declare war on drugs. Sabi ng community, war on drugs. Gusto namin yan. Who will implement your war on drugs? It will be the Philippine National Police. Sabi ni President Duterte, sabi ng magaling na community, are you sure of the Philippine National Police? And even the PDEA? Because sometimes they are the ones doing illegal activities. They sell drugs. Sabi ng magaling na community, di ba? Anong sabi ni the Presidente? The PNP will solve that. Thus, the PNP created the CITF. Ano yung CITF? The criminal tuloy. The Counter-Intelligence Task Force. Naalala nyo ba? Naalala nyo? Hindi. What is the task of the CITF? The Counter-Intelligence Task Force. They will be monitoring officers who are committing crimes. Yung mga kotong cops. Yung mga taliwas na pulis. Yun ang iniimbestigahan nila, hinuhuli nila, pinafailan nila ng criminal case. And even administrative case. So, CITF. However, the problem with the unit, ladies and gentlemen, the CITF, by the way, is when it was newly created, it is directly under the office of the Chief PNP dati. So, office of the Chief PNP, special staff siya, CITF. Pero ngayon, since there's a misnomer with the CITF, iba yung pangalan niya eh. Counterintelligence yung pangalan niya, pero ang trabaho niya, nanghuhuli ng taliwas na pulis. Tama ba? Is that functional? Counterintelligence. Sa tingin nyo, tama, mali? Let's review When we say intelligence, anong trabaho ng intelligence? Intelligence group. Anong trabaho ng intelligence group? They gather and process information, di ba? Yan ang trabaho ni intelligence. They collect and process information. Now, how about counterintelligence? Anong trabaho ng counterintelligence? If intelligence group is tasked to collect and process information for PNP planning, for police operational planning, yan. How about counterintelligence? Counterintelligence should be securing vital informations against spy. Yun dapat ang trabaho ng counterintelligence, di ba? Para hindi makuha ng ating kalaban yung ating mga vital information na pwede nilang gamitin laban sa atin, we have to employ counterintelligence. Anong trabaho ng counterintelligence? They have to protect our vital information against spy para hindi manakaw ng spy. Yun dapat ang counterintelligence. So there's a misnomer with the name of the CITF. CITF siya, pero ang trabaho niya, nanghuli siya ng taliwas na pulis. Thereby, now, resulted in the renaming of the unit. Nabago yung pangalan ng unit, it now became IMEG. Ano yung IMEG? Integrity Monitoring Enforcement Group. IMEG. Anong trabaho ng IMEG? They monitor the integrity of PNP personnel. So, tama na ngayon, di ba? Integrity monitoring. So, anong trabaho ng IMEG? Nanghuhuli ng mga taliwas na pulis. Nanghuhuli ng mga kotong cops. Nanghuhuli ng mga pulis na nagbebenta ng droga. O, tama, di ba? Integrity monitoring. Now, from that, instead of the CITF directly under the office of the Chief PNP, when it was renamed, it was also reorganized. It was then transferred to the National Operational Support Unit. So, NOSO na siya. Kahiliran na niya sina CIDG, sina IG, sina PDEG, and so on and so forth. Sina HPG, sina PSPG, ano pa ba yung mga group natin? Sina Accdg group, sina Maritime group, kahiliran na niya. Okay? So, hindi na siya special staff. So, enough with that. Aba, ang swerte nyo, pati layawan, tinatakal natin. In relation to functional plans. Now, why is it called functional plans? Why is it called functional plans again, ladies and gentlemen? Because these plans are created in relation to the performance of that functional unit's objectives. Yan. Kung hindi objectives, of its mandates, rules, or task. Yan. So if CIDG should formulate a plan in relation to his task. Plans on detection, plans on entrapment operations, plans on even buy-bust operations. So those are all considered as functional plans by the CIDG. Okay? Bakit siya functional plan? Because it is a plan related to the function of that specific unit. Next to functional plans, we have the operational efficiency, effectiveness, and productivity plans. So this is in relation to cost-benefit analysis. Kumbaga, operational efficiency, operational effectiveness, and operational productivity plans are essentially the measures or comparisons to be used to assess police activities and behavior or outputs and results or the outcomes. So, if one of the goals of the police department is to reduce the crime rate, now how can we reduce the crime rate? How do we reduce the crime rate? Paano natin ba mababawasan yung crime rate? Class. Through anong klase ng operation?
Patrol, sir.
Patrol. Tama, di ba? Through patrol, we can prevent crimes. And if we prevent crimes, we are reducing the crime rate. Tama. So, if the police, sabi natin, if one of the goals of the police department is to reduce the crime rate, any change that occurs can be compared to past crime rates in the same community or crime in other communities as a state or nation. If the crime rates were reduced while holding or reducing costs, it would reflect an improvement not only in the effectiveness but also in the departmental productivity. What it says here, ladies and gentlemen, is the comparison of the efforts between the efforts of the police last year and the efforts of the police this year. Now, if they have the same result, then we can adapt to the type of operation which is less costly. Bakit? Pareho silang effect pero mas mura yung effect mas mura yung nagastos natin sa isang operation na yan. So yan na lang ang gawin natin, di ba? So that's what we call operational efficiency. Di ba? It is related with your cost benefit analysis. Can you still recall cost benefit analysis, ladies and gentlemen? One of our first meeting topic. Huh? Naalala niyo pa ba yun? Ay, class. Hindi kayo yung namit kong klase pero I sent you the link. You should have watched those. All of our discussion in those links will form part of your quizzes, long quiz and exam. You have to review those. Okay, class? Class, did you get that?
Yes po,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. So next to operational efficiency, effectiveness, and productivity plans are our time-specific plans. When we say time-specific plans, it is related with tactical plans. Why? Because in tactical plans, most of our tactical plans are time-specific plans. Ano ba yung mga gusto ng tactical plans? Before the killer shot the hostage, we should neutralize him. So ano yung time doon? Before the hostage dies. Do, di ba? Tactical yon, okay? Time-specific plans. So time-specific plans are concerned with a specific purpose and conclude when an objective is accomplished or a problem is solved. Specific, that's correct, tactical plans and time-specific plans addresses specific scenarios, specific problem, thereby the activity should also be specific to address that specific scenario. Okay? So hostage taking scenario, ano ang specific response dapat? Hostage negotiation. Kung sumablay ang hostage negotiation, edi rescue of hostage operation, di ba? We can employ snipers. So specific police programs or projects such as drug crackdown, crime prevention program, and neighborhood clean-up campaign are good examples of time-specific plans. So one example of our neighborhood clean-up drive are those yung mga ginagawa ng barangay. However, ano yung ginagawa ng barangay? Yung lahat supposedly ng member ng community maglinis. Clean-up drive ang tawag doon. So that's an example of the neighborhood clean-up campaign. Neighborhood, lahat ng neighbors should contribute. So those are some of the time-specific plans. It addresses operations on legal drugs, crime prevention program, so patrol operations ulit, and neighborhood clean-up campaign are good examples of time-specific plans. Pero kulang, hindi niya sinama dito yung mga specific scenarios such as hostage taking scenarios and so on and so forth. So that's your general types of plan. We started at 2 p.m. Time check, it's already 3:45. Our class is 3 hours. Do you like to have a break?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's have 10 minutes break. My time is advance pala itong nasa laptop ko 3:45. Pero sa cellphone ko, it's 3:32. Okay, so let's meet at 3:42. Okay, 3:42. I allow you to have your coffee and you may have it while the discussion is going on. But don't forget to take down notes. I will be considering that later as the need arises during our finals. Kung kailangan, hindi pwede siguro natin gamitin as plus points. Okay? Okay, class, time's up. Kindly open cam. So I could see your faces to check if you are really you really are there. Okay? Kaya Christian? Present?
Gandang hapon po.
How about the others? Can you open cam? Escobedo. Okay, thank you, Miss Shireen and others. So let's resume our discussion with our discussion. Do you have a question so far? Do you have a question? Ano yun? Meron ba?
None, sir.
None. Can you see my PowerPoint presentation?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. So we were just, a while back, we were done with time-specific plans. Let's proceed with types of plan according to basis of use. So according to how we use that plan. First on the list is single-use plan. So a single-use plan is prepared for a specific purpose in a non-programmed situation. It is prepared for non-repetitive activities or as its name suggests, for single use only. After the completion of a defined objective, such a plan becomes worthless. Example of such plan are project programs and budgets. Tama yan. So single-use plan have two types, programs and budget. So once we have already acquired budget for that program, then that plan is already useless. Nakuha na natin eh. Aside from this, program. Ano ba yung mga program? Programs are plan made for achieving special objectives. These are the concrete types of plans prepared with a definite objective to accomplish a certain specific activity. A program is a mixture of procedures, policies, rules, assigned works, elements necessary for operating the group activity smoothly. For example, the introduction of a new product in a market. One example is the police service anniversary for 2023. Pagka nangyari na yon, natapos na yon, itatapon na yung plano. Bakit? Kasi iba na naman yung Chief PNP pang next year, ibang preparation ulit. Iba na rin kasi yung mga unit, iba na rin yung mga dadalo. Kaya may iba rin yung plano for next PSA. That's an example of a single-use plan. They usually are specific plan. We also have again here the standing use plan. So a standing use plan is prepared for program decision-making situations in an organization. This plan gives broad guidelines for repetitive activities. Such a plan, once developed, will be implemented in the organization to achieve organizational objectives in different situations. So kahit na mabago yung situation, that plan is still in being implemented. Yan. So that's your standing plan. Example of such plan are objectives, rules, policies, procedures, and strategies. Yung mga house rules natin, parang sa inyo rin, di ba? House rules on online classes must be, the video must be, students should be on cam, di ba? Should be in their proper attire. Ano yung proper attire nila? Should be in their uniform. If without uniform, should be at least in white t-shirt. Yun yung house rule nyo eh. So those are examples of standing use plan that even if we are done with our discussion for today and you will be meeting another online class tomorrow, you will still have to abide with that house rule. So standing use plan. So we have here objectives. The first important aspect of planning is to lay down the objectives. Of course, we can never ever do a plan if we don't have an objective, if we don't have a direction, if we don't have a mission. Anong gusto mo sa buhay? Wala. Siyempre, wala ka palang gusto mangyari sa buhay mo, hindi may pagplaplanuhan pa ba tayo? Wala rin, di ba? Anong gusto mo mangyari sa buhay mo? How do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now? I see myself as a successful law enforcer. Gusto niyo maging law enforcer? That's an objective. So ano dapat ang plano? Ano yung current state nyo? A third-year criminology student. Now, what do you have to do for you to attain your objective? You have to pass the criminology licensure examination to have my eligibility. That's correct. You have to have an eligibility because nowadays, a plain baccalaureate applicant will fall in the quota, in the recruitment process. Bakit? The trend of recruitment process nowadays, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a brief background, here in Procor, we had a quota of 200 only. You know how much or how many applicants applied? They were 2,000. So they were times 2 of the quota. 200 lang ang quota, 2,000 yung nag-apply. Imagine that. And all of those applicants have eligibility. So what are the eligibilities? They have their PRC, licensure examination, some other courses na Criminology, some passed the NAPOLCOM entrance exam, and others, teachers, have the civil service professional eligibility. So yan. Ngayon, meron si Pedro, walang eligibility, pero graduate, baccalaureate degree. Do you think doon sa 2,000 na nag-apply na sa 200 na quota, isasama pa nila sa Pedro sa ranking? Hindi na, di ba? Irarank kasi kayo doon. The problem here, ladies and gentlemen, nowadays is, aside from the eligibility, kasi lahat na kayo ngayon is, lahat na ng mga nag-apply sa PNP, lahat na ay eligibility holders. Another point system is crafted by the NAPOLCOM, by the National Police Commission. Anong sabi ni NAPOLCOM? There will be a priority to those applicants who has a 5% above the passing rate of the board exam. So, kung ang passing rate ng board exam is 75%, plus 5, 80. Pagka meron kang average na 80 above, you will be given or you will be prioritized in that quota. You will have a ranking. Papasok ka dun. Eh, paano kung ang rating mo 75 lang? Eh, halos lahat ng nag-apply na 200 na pumasa dun sa 200 quota na yun, ang average na is 80 above. Wala na, di ba? Laglag na yung may 80 below na average. Kukunin na yun ng mga naka-80 average up. Kukunin na nila yung 200 quota. So, 1/8 out of that 2,000 na nag-apply, 1/8 ang malalagas. That's how strict the competition now is, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you have to, as early as now, you have to study harder. Sometimes, you may also, if you don't want to study harder, you must study more intelligently. Okay? And in preparation for your board exam, you have to attain 80% or above dapat for you to be given a priority, for you to be prioritized during the recruitment. So, that's the objective. Now, let's discuss strategy. Nakailang beses na tayo strategy. Ulit para hindi nyo makalimutan. Strategy is the determination of basic long-term goals. That's your keyword. And objectives of an enterprise and the adoption of courses of action and allocation of course, resources necessary to achieve the goals. Strategies are used to maintain a business institution viable to meet competitive situations. So that is your strategy. It is formulated by the top-level management. Tactics are implemented by the middle and by the lower-level management. So that's the difference between strategy and tactic. Strategy is broader, tactic is narrower, specific. Yan, broad to specific. So next to strategy, we also have here policies. These are all under the standing plans, standing plans. Na kahit na, kumbaga, pwedeng ma-repetitive in use. Hindi siya single use, the opposite of single use. So policy, school policy, no ID, no entry. A policy is the verbal, written, or implied overall guidelines that supply the general limits and direction in which managerial action takes place. Policies provide guidelines in the decision-making process. What again are policies? They provide guidelines. So guide. When we say guide, this serves as guide in the decision-making process. Policy, as a general statement of understanding, lays down the limits under which decisions are to be made and thereby assures consistent and unified performance. When we say consistent performance, if you are satisfactory today, by tomorrow, you should be satisfactory still. Hindi ka dapat bababa. Ganyan ang consistent. Hindi yung inconsistent. When we say inconsistent, satisfactory ka ngayon, tapos good ka next sem, tapos next sem failed ka, tapos next sem very satisfactory, tapos next sem outstanding, tapos biglang failed ulit. So inconsistent. When we say consistency, dapat at least you maintain or at least you increase your productivity. So kung kumari from failed, dapat wag yung i-maintain na failed, ha? Wag yung i-maintain na failed. So doon kayo mag-umpisa. Kunwari, fail. That's not the end of the world. Babawi tayo next sem. So at least pasa. So at least yon, pwede nyo nang i-maintain yon. Pasa. Para hindi masayang yung taon nyo, yung gastos nyo for that sem. And if you can increase that, at least aim higher. So aim higher. Rather than pasa lang, aim higher. Diba? So that should be, that's the explanation of consistent. And unified performance, when we say unified performance as a one. So if you are working as a group, all of the group members should participate. All of the group members should have one and the same objective. Yan. Hindi pwedeng may member kayo na iba ang gusto niyang mangyari sa grupo nyo, di ba? There's no unity in there. So unified performance. Next to policies is your procedures, processes, steps. The procedure prescribes the methods through which work is to be performed. It specified a chronological sequence for handling activities. It lays down the specific manner in which a particular activity is to be performed. Once again, it lays down the specific manner in which a particular activity is to be performed. So, pinapakita niya kung paano natin gagawin ang isang proseso. It is a series of detailed steps indicating how to accomplish a task. So, yan yung sinasabi natin step by step. Yan, procedure or processes. How to cook. That's a procedure, di ba? First, igisa mo bawang, sibuyas. Karne, tapos gulay. Hindi pwedeng mauna yung gulay bago karne. Di ba? Rules. A rule is a prescribed guide for conducting an action. So parang an example to this is rules of engagement. Yan. The rules provide the condition for handling the work. Rules signify some kinds of regulations and permit no discretion in their application. So it permits no discretion. When you say no discretion, hindi mo na pag-iisipan kung paano ka responde. Bakit? Because you have rules. You just only have to abide with the rules and you have to respond. When do we use discretion? If we don't have a guide. So a rule requires a specific and definite action with respect to a specific situation. Yan. So in every situation, there is a specific action. There's a need for a specific action. Hindi naman pwedeng bumagyo. Ang ginawa nyo, bumabagyo ha. Ang response ng kapulisan nag-conduct sila ng concert for a cause, bumabagyo. Hindi applicable, di ba? Paano kung sa concert for a cause, paglabas ng tao, mas lalong nabiktima sila ng disaster. So, it is not the appropriate action in that specific scenario. Pagka bumabagyo, ano dapat ang gawin? Pwede yun. Standby and monitor for rescue operations. Diba? Monitor landslides kung saan nangyari. That's our rules. Next, we have here, we already discussed the single-use plan. We already discussed the standing use plan. Now let's proceed with contingency plans. Third type of plans according to use. So contingency. When we say contingency plans, these are emergency plans. Yan, parang emergency plan lang. A contingency plan is prepared for an unprogrammed decision-making situations in an organization. So once again, it is an unprogrammed, hindi nakaprogram. And if it is unprogrammed, it is unexpected decision-making situations in an organization. This plan gives specific guidelines in cases of emergency. So, emergency plan yan, contingency plan. Such a plan, once developed, will be implemented by the line units to achieve immediate organizational objectives in that current specific situation. So, what are the example of contingency or emergency plans? Rescue operation plan, di ba? Kailan natin nagagamit yon? During rescue operation lang. Anong event? During typhoon. Search and rescue operation, di ba? So, those are example of contingency plans or emergency plans. What else? Brownout. Ano yung contingency plan doon? The reservation of a generator. Because without it, we cannot perform our paperwork. And if we fail to perform our sworn duties and responsibilities, we may be charged administratively. Anong kaso? Non-performance of duty. Ano yon? Non-feasance. Ethics, di ba? We also have here types of plans according to flexibility. So, flexible ba yung plano mo? Yan. So, we only have two here. We have the specific plan, means to say, single plan din siya, single use lang din siya. And we have the flexible plan. When we say flexible plan, it can be used to other similar incidents, and it can be stretched. Yan. So, a specific plan is developed for a particular department or unit about the activities to be performed. So, what type of activity? A functional activity to be performed by a specific functional unit within that specific scenario. Sinabi na natin kanina, di ba? Parang pareho lang din siya sa single-use plan. Na pagkatapos ng program na yon o pagkatapos ng budgeting na yon, useless na yung plano. Kailangan ulit may panibagong plano sa panibagong program or panibagong budget planning. Members of an organization are clear about tasks to be performed and resources to be used. All clearly stated plans are specific plans. Yan. Specific plans. The opposite of specific plan, according to flexibility, is the flexible plan. What is a flexible plan? It is changeable on the basis of time and situation. It can be stretched and it can be changed. How will it be changed? Through the usage or utilization of alternatives. Diba? Ano yung alternative ulit? alternative plan or alternatives. What are these? Our plan A, plan B, plan C. Diba? It is not specific in terms of procedures and allocation of resources. Such plan only provides guidelines to the members. The members can modify such plans on the basis of their facility and requirement. So, tama to ha. Kasi for example, we adopted a plan from the national headquarters. Strategic plan yon. It now went to the regional level. From the regional level, magkaiba yung nakalagay dun sa plano. Yung nakalagay kasi dun sa plano is, let's say for example, ang budget, 10M. The problem is our budget is only 5M for that specific operation. So we have to stretch that 5M for it to make that plan flexible. Yan. So we have to modify some aspect of the plan. So that is your flexible plan. Patingin nga kung sino nagsusulat. Tas nyo yung ballpen nyo. Ay, Matias. On cam, sabi ko eh. Shireen, may I see your notes?
Ito po, sir.
Yes, Christian. Okay na, Brooke. Ang unique pangalan mo ha, Brooke. How do you pronounce that?
Brook po.
Brooke talaga. From Brooklyn? Is your mother from Brooklyn? Matias Brooke?
Hindi po,
Scooby-Doo,
sir.
are your parents fond of watching ay hindi pala, family name pala to, sorry. The Scooby-Doo dog. Sorry family name pala yun. Okay. How about you, Christian? Nabawasan na naman kayo ng 3. We were 22 a while back. Ilan na ngayon to? 18. Anyways, sa quiz malalaman ha. Basta so long as bumabawi kayo sa quiz. So let's proceed. According to range of time and implementation ulit, according to time, we have here is strategic, a long-term plan, which takes at least 5 years to be prepared by the top-level management and to be implemented by all participants. What are these participants? Personnel from the national headquarters to the middle level to the lowest level. Kasi it is a plan from the national headquarters. So all. Unlike your tactical plan, it will only be implemented by those specific personnel in that specific unit. Yun ang tactical plan. It gives the reason for existence of the organization. Yan. Why? Because the strategic plan is directly aligned with the attainment of the mission and vision. So part of your strategic plan, ladies and gentlemen, is the alternative plans. So what again are alternative plans? Your plan A to plan and so on and so forth. Yan. Are options and means by which goals and objectives can be attained. They may be policies, strategies, or specific actions aimed at eliminating a problem. Alternative do not have to be substitute for one another. So, hindi kailangan not necessarily na substitute siya sa isang element ng plano or should perform the same function. So, hindi rin kailangan na pareho yung function na ipo-perform. So long as it contributes to the attainment of the objective or mission. So, it is considered as an alternative. So, ano example nito? Kunwari, kulang sa budget. Ano ang alternative nyo pagka isang activity kulang sa budget? What type of activity? Kunwari, information drive activity, ladies and gentlemen. PCR community, PCR activity. Crime prevention tips. Kunwari, yun yung program sana natin. The problem is nagkulang ng pondo. What should be your alternative? Police community relations activity, yung plano natin. It is directed towards the community. So sila yung mga target audience natin. And the activity is supposed to be face-to-face. So dadayo sana tayo doon to conduct lecture and information drive. But the problem is, kumulang tayo sa budget. Now, what should be our alternative? Can we give an option, class?
Using webinar po, sir.
Oh, tama. The conduct of webinar. So, all you have to do, all you need to produce in a webinar is internet and cellphone or laptop. Okay na yun. Do you need the funds for that to comply the same objective to conduct information drive? No need, di ba? So that's an example of alternative. Thank you. Sino yun? What's that? Fajardo. Okay. So another plus points for Miss Fajardo. Bakit siya na lang? Siya na lang ba parati? Siya na lang ba estudyante? So next to your strategic plan is our intermediate plan. When we say intermediate plan, these are again middle, diba? Middle or intermediate plan. Also crafted by the middle level personnel. So the intermediate plan is prepared by the middle level management. It is consistent with the strategic plan. It is the subdivision of the strategic plan to be implemented in the middle level or line units. Okay. So intermediate plan. One of the example of our intermediate plan again are our master plans. Yeah, master plans. Next to intermediate plan is the tactical plan. So who crafted tactical plans? These are the lower level management. Tactical plan is consistent with the operational plan. It is a specific action plan. It is a specific action plan for each and every activity of the unit. Kaya if you come to analyze, if you come to think of it, ladies and gentlemen, most of our tactical plans are also single-use plan, mostly. Why? Because in every scenario, there is a difference. So, pwede rin yun. But the best example, ladies and gentlemen, but the best example for single-use plan are budget planning and programs. So, yun yung pinakamalapit. So, tactical plan again involves the schedule of each unit of work to implement a tactical plan. It concentrates on the best use of available resources to attain the specific objective, mostly directed to the lowest units, such as the municipal police stations, police precincts, or even specialized units. Yan. So give me an example of specialized unit. Class, give me an example of a specialized unit in the PNP. Wala kayong maisip na specialized unit? Yes, Munoz. Munoz. Give me an example of a specialized unit. Soko.
Sir, wait lang.
Ano yun, Escobedo?
Sir, dito na lang po ako sasagot mo niyo. Try lang po SWAT, sir.
Tama, nasabi ko na nga kanina din yan eh, di ba? The SWAT, specialized. Why are they called specialized? Because they specialized in weapons and tactics. They are sharpshooters. What else? Oh, Miss Araguas. Hi, Mr. Araguas. Wasan ka na, Araguas. Mayroon nang sagot si ano kanina. Sino na to? Yung sumagot ng Soko.
Simon na.
Tama rin yung Soko, di ba? Forensics. Ang tawag sa Soko ngayon, ladies and gentlemen, Soko pa rin naman. Pero ang pangalan nila, National Operational Support Unit yun ha. Pero ngayon, instead of Crime Lab yung dating pangalan nila, Forensics Group na ang pangalan nila ngayon. Forensics Group. Yes, of course, the Special Action Force 2. The SAF. Why? Because this specializes in internal security operations. What is this type of operation? Internal security operations. Who are the enemy in a internal security operations? They are the NPAs, the internal terrorists within the Philippines. Yan. The EOD specializes in bombs. What else? Our investigators specialized in investigation. Sino pa yung hindi nakasagot? Okay lang si Fardo na nakatatlo ka na kanina. Yes. Also Bitchayda, functional. In short, ladies and gentlemen, all of those functional units are expected to be specialized because they should have specialty in their field. So let's say for example, anti-cybercrime group. Okay, dapat expert sila sa investigation and tracking of cyber criminals. Tama rin yung sinabi mo, sure shock. Sure shock refers to the training yun training yun. But it is applicable, that training is applicable to all field officers. So sharpshooter ka pag natapos mo yung sure shock. Pagka natapos mo naman yung commando or scout ranger na training, ang specialty mo is internal security operations, di ba? Sir, yung mounted, come again, nawala. Yung mounted, saan ko makikita yun? Chats. Sir, yung mounted police po ba? When we say mounted police, they are mounted on a horse. Kaya sinabing mounted police, di ba? So, ang ginagawa nila is horse patrol. Are they specialized unit? Parang hindi pa masyado. Combat medic. Okay lang. Okay lang yung combat medic kasi mangilan-ilan lang yung train dyan. They specialized in medic. Combat medic. Yan. Adonis. Shireen, ayaw nyo ayaw nyo mag-reset. Gusto nyo written. Padinig ka ng boses mo, Adonis. Adonis.
Sir,
Okay, ganda pala ng boses mo eh. Kanta ka nga, Adonis.
sir, di ba marunong kumanta?
Tula.
Teka lang, sir. Isip lang po ako ng tula.
Alam mo ba yung ako ay may bayabas? Alam mo ba yun? O maski anong tula.
Sir, game na po.
Sige,
Sir, game na.
game.
Ako'y tutula. Mahabang mahaba. Ako'y upo. Tapos na po.
Wala ka namang, lagyan mo naman ng libog. Lagyan mo ng libog. Adonis ka pa man
Sir,
din.
di po ganyan, sir. Sorry po.
Ay, okay lang, okay lang. Pero di ba dapat ang Adonis yung partner ng Muse? Dapat confident dapat yan. Ala Robin Padilla dapat yan. Diba? Bawi ka next time ha, Adonis.
Sorry, sir.
Hanapan ka namin ng Muse. Do you have questions with our discussion before we proceed? Wala. Silence means none. None siguro. So we are done with the type of plans according to time and its implementation. The strategic, intermediate, and tactical plan. Parang wala ring pinagkaiba doon sa hierarchy, di ba? Bakit? Because this strategic plan are crafted by the top level officers. The intermediate plan are crafted by the middle level management. Your tactical plans and operational plans are crafted by the lower level management. So we have here a simplified tabulation. It shows the distinctions between plans, types of plan. So strategic plan, these are created by top level management. And the level of detail, they are very broad and general. So when we say broad, wala siyang specific action. Okay? So yung specific action, sino ang gagawa? It will be included by the middle level management when they localize the strategic plan into operational plan. Ngayon, yung operational plan din, they are specific actions and ideas but not very detailed. So, means to say, may kulang pa rin. Now, who will complete this? It will be completed by the low-level management. And they will call that a tactical plan. Why? Because tactical plan addresses a specific scenario. And in that specific scenario, it requires a specific action. So, ano yung mga specific action? Mayroon na tayong specific target. Kung si O-plan, enemies lang nakalagay doon. Dito sa tactical plan, nakalagay kung sino yung specific na enemy. Pedro, sinabi niya. Doon sa operational plan, ang nakalagay dang on the place of incident, sabi niya. Pero dito sa tactical plan, nakalagay na kung saan mismo. Saan mismo? Sa Laguna State Polytechnic University. O, doon mismo, what pala yan? Yung where, doon mismo yung where. Okay? Now, doon naman sa sa operational plan, ang nakalagay lang doon is on this type of incident. Type of incident yung nakalagay. Pero doon sa tactical plan natin, nakalagay, anong klase ng incident? What type of operation? Rescue. Search and rescue operation. So, when? Kung ang nakalagay dun sa operational plan is during the time of incident, sabi niya, dito sa tactical plan natin, ilalagay na natin kung when. At this very moment, nilagyan ng date. September, ano ba ngayon? 28 na pala ngayon. 2023. O, di ba? So, in short, ang example ng tactical plan natin is ito. What? Search and rescue operation. For Pedro. Where? At LSPU. When? At this very moment. Bakit? Binabagyo ba kayo ngayon dyan? Sa LSPU? Hindi naman. So, pwede nating isama na baka hindi naman binabagyo pero we have to rescue him. Bakit? Malamang baka nabiktima siya ng hostage taking scenario. That's a part of your what? What? Hostage incident. Hostage taking incident. Ang bilis ng oras ah. So now, let's proceed with kinds of police plans. So what are the kinds of police plans? First on the list is policy and procedural plans. To properly achieve the administrative planning responsibility within the unit, the commander shall develop unit plans relating to policies or procedure steps or tactics or operations or extra office activities and management. So these are policy and procedure. Just like you, ladies and gentlemen, most of your students, most of your instructors have their own subject house rules, di ba? Parang ganyan din yan. House rules or policy in the institution. Ano ba yung policy? No ID, no entry. Ano yung house rule? No cheating. Diba? Further, the standard operating procedure shall be planned to guide members in routine and field operations. In some special operations in accordance with the following procedures. So first is field procedure. So we are dealing with procedures in the field. It is outside of the office. Procedures intended to be used in all situations of all kinds shall be outlined as a guide to officers and men in the field. Examples to these procedures are those related to reporting, dispatching, dispatching to raids, arrest, stopping suspicious persons, receiving complaints, touring beats, patrol, and investigation of crimes. So, field procedure yan. Give me one example of field procedure that you know. The police operational procedure. O, di ba? Field procedure yan. What else? The investigation manual. O, di ba? Mga field procedure yan, mga yan. The use of physical force and clubs, restraining devices, such as your handcuffs and batutas, firearms, tear gas, and the like, shall in dealing with groups or individuals be outlined. Yan. So, dapat naka-outline kung kailan natin specifically pwedeng gamitin yung tear gas. In the United States, they also have their, pangkuryente na to? What do you call that? Teaser. Pala, teaser. Here in the Philippines, we don't have teaser. What we have is, wala nang batuta pala ngayon, no? Wala na masyadong gumagamit ng batuta. But the extendable baton, meron yun. Yan. So that is an example of field procedure. One of the field procedure, ladies and gentlemen, is the ano ang rule sa give me one rule in the conduct of police operations that is being observed nowadays. Maski marami yan. The observance of the maximum tolerance. Ano ba yung maximum tolerance? Sabi niya, kahit na inisin ka ng offender, huwag ka magagalit. Kasi baka mamaya, pagka nagalit ka, mabaril mo yung nang inis sa'yo. Ikaw ngayon ang makakasuhan ng murder o pag namatay siya, di ba? So, maximum tolerance. Maintain your cool. What else? The principle of, ano pa? Reasonable force, di ba? So in responding to an incident, if the perpetrator has with him a weapon, let's say for example a knife, then can we use reasonable force? Knife, expert siya sa kutsilyo. Alangan namang di tayo gagamit din ng weapon, di ba? So we can use reasonable force. Yan. Aside, so let's say for example, we use batutang pinanlaban natin sa knife. And we were able to neutralize the perpetrator. So we were able to neutralize the perpetrator. However, the perpetrator is very strong that he can resist the police officer. Now, here enters the application of the force continuum. Ano yung force continuum? If after you have used reasonable force and still there is a force from the enemy, then can we use force continuum? So, Mr. Say, pwede pa tayong gumamit continually ng reasonable force. So, kung nagpupumiglas pa rin siya, edi pwede nating dagdagan yung force natin for us to be able to neutralize the perpetrator. But we don't have to use excessive force, ha? Don't ever use excessive force. Pagka gumamit ka ng excessive force, mababaliktad yung kaso. Makakasuhan ka. Pwedeng serious injury depending on the result of the case. Right? Gumamit ka ng baril. Dahil anong ginawa niya? Nagpumiglas lang siya. Pero hindi pumasok sa self-defense. Nangyari, baliktad. Ikaw makakasuhan ngayon. Pero kung halos mapatay ka na niya, then can you use your firearm? Tapos ang justification mo, self-defense. So, those are some of the examples of your field procedures. We have here headquarters procedure. Included in this procedure are the duties of the dispatcher, the jailer, the matron, and other personnel concerned, which may be reflected in the duty manual. Procedures that involve coordinated action on activity of several offices, however, shall be established separately as in the case of using telephone for locals or long-distance calls, the radio teletype, and similar devices. So those are the headquarters procedure. Means to say these are procedures within the headquarters. So in the headquarters, ladies and gentlemen, we have there the TOC. Ano ba yung TOC natin? We call him Tactical Operations Center. Ano bang gamit ng TOC? It is where informations or complaints are being relayed. So, may ongoing na incident, i-report kaagad natin kay TOC, and it will be TOC who will use or disseminate the information to the radio. Anong sasabihin niya? Attention all unit, a hostage-taking incident had just transpired in SM specific location. So, all unit near within the vicinity, kindly acknowledge. Tapos pag may nag-acknowledge, bibigyan niya ng further instruction, di ba? So that's an example of headquarters procedure. Next is the special operations procedure. So we are dealing here with special operation. Certain special operations also necessitates the preparation of procedures as guides. Included are the operation of the special unit charged with the searching and preservation of physical evidence at the crime scene. So, anong unit to? CIDG, di ba? And accident. Anong accident? Traffic Management and Accident Investigation. The control of licenses. So, malamang si LTO yan. Anong licenses? Driver's license, si LTO. Control of firearms licenses, si CSG. Ano yung CSG? Civil Security Group under the Philippine National Police. Dissemination of information about wanted persons. So yan. So magpo-float tayo ng mugshot ng mga wanted person with rewards or even without rewards. Inspection of the PNP headquarters and the like. So those are the example of our special operation procedures. So your keyword there are certain special operations. Next are vice control. So when we say vice control, it refers to vices. Ano ba yung mga vices? It may not be necessarily a crime because vagrancy is no longer crime. Di ba? Ano ba yung vagrancy? Yan yung pagtatambay mo tapos kakalat-kalat ka outside. Vagrancy. Drunkenness. Di ba? Drunkenness is no longer not a crime. However, it is a vice. Di ba? So, vice. Smoking is a vice. Women. White slavery. White slavery is a crime eh. And at the same time, a vice. Ano ba yung crime nun? Prostitution kasi yon. So, vice control campaigns must be planned and assignments made to assure the accomplishment of the police purpose in meeting both average and regular needs. Each division or unit has primary responsibility to plan operations in its field and also to execute the plans either by its own personnel or as staff agency by utilizing members of the other divisions. So, we can utilize personnel of other divisions, especially so if we are doing a juvenile delinquency related operation, di ba? Bakit? Kasi yung bata, pasaway, minor de edad siya, naninigarilyo. So, sino ang pwedeng partner implementers natin dito? Other divisions, sabi niya. So, pwede tayong magpa-assist sa DSWD, other offices, di ba? Because it is one of their tasks din. Plans for operations of special divisions consist of two types, namely those designed to meet everyday, year-around needs, which are the regular operating program of the division, and second, those designed to meet usual needs, the result of intermittent and usually unexpected variations in activities that demand their attention. So, yan. So, in short, we have a regular, monthly, weekly, daily, quarterly, annually compliance. So, that belongs to number 1. And number 2, we have the unexpected but usual needs correspond with. We also have here regular operating program. So when we say regular, it is a regular activity. These operating divisions units shall have specific plans to meet current needs. The manpower shall be distributed throughout the area of jurisdiction in proportion to the need. Sometimes in proportion to the personnel, di ba? Ano ba yung police to population ratio? In every 500 of population, there should be a 1 police officer. So assignments schedule shall be prepared that integrates such factors as release days, lunch periods, hours, nature, and location of regular works. Plan shall assure suitable supervision, which become difficult when the regular assignment is integrated to deal with the short-time periodic needs. So, regular operating programs, no other than activities that are regularly being conducted. Ano ba yung mga regular operating programs ng PNP? Patrol, this is a regular activity. Investigation, that's a regular activity. Police community relations activity, regular activities yung mga yan. We also have the meeting usual needs. So the usual needs may arise in any field of police activity and nearly always meet in the detective, vice, and juvenile division by temporary readjustment of regular assignment. So usually, it depends on our need. So we have to meet to address a specific need. So if we have observed that by this month, the number of juvenile delinquent, the number of juveniles increased, then we have to address the cause of such increase in the number of juvenile delinquents. Yan. So we have to meet and discuss probable solution for that. That's an example of meeting usual needs. Another here is extra office plan. So when we say extra office plan, it is a plan not directly related with office functions. So the active interest and the participation of individual citizens is also a vital role to the success of the PNP programs that the PNP shall continuously seek to motivate, promote, and maintain an active public concern in its affairs. These are plans made to recognize or to organize the community to assist in the accomplishment of objectives in the fields of traffic control, organization of crime, reduction, solution, prevention of crimes, and juvenile delinquency prevention. So, in short, when we say extra office plans, these are plans that are outside of the PNP office. So, it can be created with the community, external. Yan. So, it can be crafted in partnership with the community. The organization may be called safety councils for crime commissions and community councils for the delinquency prevention. They shall assist in coordinating community effort, in promoting public support, and in combating organized crime. Organization and operating plans for civic defense shall also be prepared for use in case of emergency or war in coordination with the Office of the Civil Defense. So that's example of your extra office plans of plans that are not directly related with your office but are related with the community or other external agencies. Extra office plans. So we have here management plans. These are plans of management which shall map out in advance all operations involved in the organization, management of personnel and material, and in procurement and disbursement of money such as following. So when we say management, we deal with the proper utilization of resources. So what are these resources again? We have the finances. So yan yung budget planning natin. We have the human resources. We have to manage human resources. Yan yung sinasabi nating walang personnel management. Walang alam dito. Accounting procedures. We have lots of items being accounted for. We may account of cash flows. Yan. Auditing ang tawag doon. We may also account personnel. Pwede rin yan. We may also account logistics. Yung mga supplies na na-issue. Binibilang din natin yan. We may account gasoline. Full tank pa ba? Diba? Half tank na? Mga ganyan. We also have here specification and purchasing procedures. So specification shall be drawn for equipment and supplies. Purchasing procedure shall likewise be established. In relation to the logistics support service, they are expert in bidding. When you say bidding, what is the purpose of bidding? Ano ba ang bidding kasi? We can attain goods in the cheapest price. Yun kasi yung purpose ng bidding. Kung ang SRP niya, let's say for example, in the market, ang standard regulating price is 20,000 for example, through bidding, we can decrease the value of that item or project. And then, pag nabawasan, then can we transact? Kumbaga, bargaining ang tawag nun. So, purchasing procedures. We also have here personnel management. Procedures shall be established to assure the carrying out of personnel programs and the allocation of personnel among the competent organization units and in proportion need. When we say in proportion need, meron din tayong sinasabi na pag kailangan ng maraming investigator, we need more number of investigators. Pagka sa isang locality, more than 500 na sila, wala man lang ni isang pulis, we have to assign a patroller in that area to satisfy the 1:500 police to population ratio. Next is your organization. Oh, mukhang kulang na. We still have 14 minutes, so tapusin lang natin tong slide na to. We have the organization. A basic organization plan of the command or unit shall be made and to be posted for the guidance of the force. To be posted for the guidance of all members of the organization. Such as, ano ba yung mga pinopost dito? The mission vision, di ba? Pinopost din yan. The organizational structure, pinopost din yan. Yung currently, the PNP adopts this strategic plan. What is this strategic plan being observed and implemented by the PNP? Nasabi ko sa inyo noon, kung naalala nyo. Nasabi ko na to noon. Strategic plan being implemented by the PNP. Mukhang di kayo nag-take down notes ha. The PGS, di ba? The Performance Governance System. So, when we say PGS, it involves Performance Governance System. Parang grading card lang ng mga student yan. Without this PGS, because PGS utilizes scorecard, without the use of scorecard, do you think the police unit or police personnel can will perform? Excuse me. Di ba parang hindi? Malabo. Just like you students, without your grading system, do you think you will perform? Hindi, di ba? Hindi kayo magpo-perform pagka wala kayong grading system. Come what may, kayong estudyante pagka walang grading system. That's why we have to adapt the grading system, the card, for us to assess and monitor your learning. Now, if you satisfy the requirements of this subject, then can you pass? But if you fail to satisfy the requirements of this subject, you fail to have or to pass your exam, you fail to pass the class standing, then actually, it will also result to your failure in your grade. Yun lang. Diba? So, the duty manual incorporates rules and regulation and shall contain the following: the definition of terms, the organization of rank. So, without organization of rank, we don't know whom to follow. Okay? So, dapat meron tayong chief PNP, may 2 deputy, may chief directorial staff, Merong mga director ng mga directorates, merong mga director ng mga national support units, merong mga regional directors, merong mga provincial directors, merong mga city directors, merong mga provincial directors, merong mga station commanders, and merong mga chief of police. For us to have the organization or organization of command, di ba? So, pwedeng command yun. That the command comes from top to bottom. So, yun yung sinusunod natin. In the institution, we also have the authority in the institution is in the Criminology department, it starts from the dean, di ba? Siya yung pinakamataas. Sinong susunod kay dean? The program chair. The members of the faculty. Di ba? So, yun ang organization. And the like, provided the same shall not be in conflict with the manual. Okay, so of course, if we have an existing manual, we just have to abide with the manual. Ano ba yung manual? The Police Operational Procedure. Pagka sa inyo students, the policy, the school policies, the house rules. So, dapat masunod din yan. For us to be organized. Because without it, there's no organization, di ba? Hindi tayo organized. And without organization, without organized, without being organized, we can have duplication of function. Pwedeng ganyan. O kaya, magulo ang ating performance ng ating activity. Ang example ng duplication of function is ginawa na ni Pedro, tapos ginawa mo pa Juan. Hindi, parang useless yung trabaho ng isa. Kasi nakumplayan na eh. Parang ganyan. Eh kung binigyan mo ng sariling tasking si Juan, binigyan mo ng sariling tasking si Pedro, at least naging efficient tayo sa pag-use ng ating human resources, di ba? Human resource and even time. Okay, so that's all about organization. With that, ladies and gentlemen, do you have question in relation to our discussion this whole session? Meron ba kayong katanungan? By the way, class, expect an online quiz next meeting, ha? Hindi. Mamaya na lang pala para pwede nyo sagutin maski anong oras. Oh, kindly open cam, ladies and gentlemen. I acknowledge presence of only 17 participants, including me. Tingnan mo talaga to. Pagka recitation na, naglilib na kayo, ah. Now, do you have question, ladies and gentlemen?
Answer.
Wala kayong naintindihan? O wala kayong tanong?
Wala po kaming tanong, sir.
Siguraduhin mo yan, Escobedo, ah. How about you, Miss Matias?
Wala po, sir.
Sigurado ka ba? Baka naman nahihiya ka lang. How about you, Shireen? You'll be the last person I'll ask. Ha?
Wala naman po masyado. Sir, pagpita kayo sa amin.
Pag?
Wala naman po.
Wala. Okay. So, Miss Jose, you understood our discussion. With that, ladies and gentlemen, you'll be having... Sige, pag-isipan ko. Siguro, kailan nyo gusto yung quiz? Ngayon na ba or next meeting?
Next
Next
meeting.
meeting po, sir.
Okay, you'll have an identification quiz. Okay, identification quiz. Open notes, open notes. So make sure you have taken down notes. Good for only 30 minutes nga lang. It will be strictly monitored. Thus, I will be requiring you 2 gadgets. One for answering the quiz, the Google form, and one for the Zoom, showing your face and your background, the table. Okay? Para makita ko hindi kayo nagkokopyahan na wala kayong katabi. Open notes na nga di ba? Para dyan makakabawi yung talagang nakinig at nag-take down notes. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your active participation and see you next meeting. Okay?
Po, sir.
Thank you. You're excused.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po,
Thank you
sir.
po.
Thank you po.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.